I'm very interested to see if there's like a negative outlook on Palworld. I'm very interested to see what they say on this video. Hold on.
Right, so they say, the biggest thing that annoys me about this game is that during raids, the enemy pals just walk through any wall, gate, barrier, structure you have built to protect your base, meaning that they are just for looks and serve no purpose other than giving the illusion of security. So to combat that, I just put all my base pals back in the power box and fast travel away until the raid is over. Going for the pacifist run. I haven't noticed this.
So that right off the bat, I feel like is like a huge thing for me. Is there are a lot of things within Palworld, because I have seen things like this. And again, this game is in early access, so we can't like hit it too hard. But I feel like the biggest thing for me here in this conversation, because it is a reality, is like, why do you give me all of these things that I can build, all of these things I can craft, all this material to gain, if none of it fucking matters? And so I think that's the biggest thing that they have to figure out going forward, getting out of alpha into beta and things like that, is this game just needs a lot of polish. I feel like the core of the game is super good. It's just the fucking because it's funny because I started playing Palworld directly onto a rented server from Shockbyte, and it's crap. Like, honestly, Shockbyte's service is really, really good if you're willing to pay gobbles of money for it. And to be fair, they're spinning up a lot of stuff really quickly for a game that's in beta. So I feel like there's a lot of optimization to be left on the table there, because their Minecraft servers are perfectly fine. It's one of those things because I use them for Minecraft. And so the biggest thing I think for me is that all of these people are shitting on the game while it's in alpha. And so that's not entirely justified. But also, there are things that we've noticed outside of the core game that are needing polish. They just needs polish. That's kind of what I'm getting here.
Ingots are probably the second biggest annoyance in this game. Everything requires ingots, and not in small sums. It's just another person talking about ingots. When does the struggle for ingots come? Because I'm 110, 120 hours in.
Well, and I think that's the problem, is you're willing to play like a 120-hour game, grinding game. The problem that Palworld has is it was framed as this Pokemon, what if Pokemon vibe, right? And so a lot of people started playing this game, and it got so popular so quickly because so many people wanted to play this what if Pokemon was really good simulator. And that's the experience of this game is more similar to a Minecraft, a Terraria, to a lesser extent, other grindy games like that. I just like, it's literally Minecraft but in Fortnite's engine. And so once people got through to that, I feel like a lot of the points that he's making as a gamer who enjoys like the grind fest of a Minecraft or a Terraria or obviously a Palworld is just like not what a lot of gamers came into this game trying to get. Like, they weren't going into this game trying to get that out of it. And so I feel like a lot of people kind of felt it, like, and I don't think Palworld marketed themselves incorrectly. I feel like this is just how it was like brandished to a bunch of people, and it's not the Pokemon game that they thought it would be.
I've lost several pals when putting them in the power box. They disappear after fast traveling. I never saw this.
That's just a bug. They're going to fix that in beta. I feel like if a lot of people are having this issue, they're just going to fix it, or something's corrupted about your game file. I think that just happens sometimes. I've had it happen in Terraria. I've had it happen in Minecraft. I've had it happen in a bunch of other things. Like, I just don't think that's entirely justified.
Pals often obtain an injury when you assign them to your base, despite being at full health and sanity. It may be because the game just drops them onto the ground from 4 or 5 feet in the air. It could be. It could be. I think it's probably just an excuse to get you to use the medicine system. They put a whole medicine system into the game. It would be kind of pointless if they'd never made you use it. I have pals that are in perfect working condition, and it still says, oh, they're stressed out, they're going to bed. Oh, he's cranky from performing his tasks. Like, I think it's just an excuse to get you to use that. That would be my...
And so the entire purpose of this game and building bases and like having like the grind kind of at your home base, I think the really good thing that they did is they figured out how to get like a bunch of material. But the problem is if you're going to put like a stamina and you're going to put an injury thing into a game, you need to be able to automate that task as well. Because if I have to go back to my base every single time I get a notification that my guy is sad, like, I'm going to want to go fucking fix that problem, you know, because I'm not an absolute degenerate. And frankly, if I'm like trying to be like the most efficient workmaster I can be, you know, like, you want them to be working at peak capacity. Like, you don't want to come back and they've only made fucking 100 fucking wood or something like that because they're just not working as efficiently. And so like, if we're like trying to optimize the game, like, medicine also needs to be automated.
This one I'm glad they mentioned, and other people mentioned it in the comments as well of the last video. They say, lastly, and certainly not least, even with maxed out catch level from Liftmonk Effigy being at level 50 and the power being only at 1 to 2 HP, you'll go through 20 to 60 legendary spheres, also requiring massive amounts of ingots, to catch the higher level powers. I've got the patch notes I'll show in a sec. It looks like this is fixed, so
like, again, this is something the Pokemon, even now with Scarlet and Violet and games that will come out in the future and DLC and all that jazz, are still trying to fight with as well. Catch rates are something that is constantly modified in updates. And so, we used to exploit them in red, blue, yellow, green. I said green like anybody outside of Japan played green. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Like, we used to exploit those bugs. I know how to get around them now because of constant stuff like constant updates. We want those fixed like immediately, and this is shit like that will always get fixed, And when you fix another problem, problem might arise. This is game development. I don't know what to tell you, and so yeah, no, I don't think this is a general. I think this is a general problem that was fixed. You just got to give fucking game developers times. I mean, goddamn, the game's in beta, and also, yeah, game developers are worked hard, man. So. Overall, I think this review, there's a little bit of both, for me in this guy. In the fact that I just think some of the things that he complains about are very like, look, people aren't expecting the game that they were coming out with, Like, I think there were some points where a lot of people were like, oh, this game is going to be Pokemon. And there are a lot of other people who were like, oh, this is the next Minecraft Terraria. And I feel like both are correct. And so the problem is because of the marketing that happened about those Pokemon players, in order to retain that gaming base, they have to literally develop for them. And so a little bit more companionship for the pals instead of just, Master's got me working, is like super important and integral to put in, I think. Just because nobody wants to play a game where you're literally putting animals to slavery. So I think that, and then just like creating more efficiencies within the material generation process and automating things like medicine and stuff like that, if you're going to put that type of system in the game, are super important. But I think he comes from an area where he was ready to play like a Minecraft Terraria game, and he's just waiting for these optimizations to happen because he's willing to like, oh, well, this catch rate is fucked right now, so I'm going to try and wiggle my way around it. A lot of other gamers aren't willing to do that. And so I feel like we're just kind of crossing two veins that just aren't ready to be crossed yet. So I think that's the biggest thing.